many teachers in my life made a really big difference. Let me tell you the story about one. Jen K. Goodman was my 7th and 8th grade social studies teacher. And what I remember most about Jen when I was in her class was her boundless energy. She was funny and creative, but she also had really high expectations for us. And Jen taught me how important it was to study and grapple with hard and essential history. In our class, we studied the Holocaust in depth. We studied the Civil Rights Movement. We studied the migration of many different peoples to the United States over time. And in her class, we didn't really spend a lot of time reading textbooks, or I can't really remember any tests we took. Instead, what I remember from Jen's class was how she made history come to life. So when we were studying the founding of the country and the country's government, we did a mock constitutional convention and spent a week each taking a role. When we were studying what it meant to be an upstander instead of a bystander, she had us research and write and perform monologues of resistors and rescuers from the Holocaust. I remember too how she made history conceptual and creative, that she had us come at history in many different ways. So for example, at the end of our studies of looking at the Holocaust after many, many months of study, we made memorials. We made actually 3D memorials, and we wrote artist statements explaining why we had made all the choices in our memorials. And at the end of 7th and 8th grade, I graduated 8th grade, I went off to high school, and I stayed in touch in college. And then I went and became a teacher. And I went back to Jen, and she shared her wisdom and her ideas and her lesson plans. And I look at my classroom today, and I see so much of what Jen taught me in my classroom. And even some of the projects that we do in my class are variations of the projects that I did first in her class. A couple years ago, she actually brought her current students up to Lowell, and her current students met my students, and they got to learn from each other. Thinking about Jen and her impact on me as a teacher is she taught me how important it was to make history come to life, to think about different and creative ways to learn, and then also to share that learning. And she taught me the importance of being an advocate for others and to be an upstander.